All right, so if you don't know who Grant Cardone is, he is a real estate mogul, Mr. 10X. He's also the star of the new show, Undercover Billionaire. I've spoken on some stages with Grant, and here are the three things that Grant Cardone has taught me about success. I want to share them with you today. Number one most important rule that Grant says all the time is this: you have to show up. The most important rule of success is showing up. You cannot get successful in the shadows. You always listen to him. He says you got to get out of obscurity, and the way to do that is to literally show up. You can't grow sitting on the couch. I'll tell you a quick story about how this showed up in my life. I remember that rule of success, and I got asked to go speak on a stage. It was in Houston, Texas. I live in San Diego. Who wants to go to Houston, Texas? And I was like, I don't want to go to this stage. I really don't want to spend the money and the time to go travel. But I remember that rule of success. You got to show up. You got to show up. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And guess what happened? 2 weeks later, guess who I found out was going to be speaking on the same exact stage? Grant Cardone, literally. So taking his rule of always showing up landed me a stage with Grant Cardone that I was able to promote to everyone and say, hey, look, me and Grant are speaking on the same stage. I got to meet some other incredible people like Robert Martinez and George Abreu, two other really great investors in our space. So, number two, have a great attitude. That's the number two rule of success. It seems simple, right? But a lot of times we show up and we're nervous or we're timid. And you gotta come in with confidence. You gotta come in with boldness. You gotta know who you are and be kind and be friendly. So having a great attitude, getting your mind right in the morning so that every day you can show up no matter where you go with a great attitude. It's not just about walking into the room. How many people, when you go to conferences, there's thousands, hundreds maybe of people in the conference. But those who stick out are those who have a great attitude when we're there. And so taking the time to get your attitude right, your mindset right, was number two rule that Grant taught me. Number three rule of success that Grant Cardone taught me is that you have to know what you want. How many people go to a conference or go somewhere and have real no intention of why we're there? So what Grant taught me was that when I show up to places, to have an idea, to have an expectation of what I want to get out of the room. And so to go back to that conference, the reason I went there, yes, was to win the stage, yes, was to win an audience, but there was one person that I wanted to connect with. His name was Robert Martinez, the apartment rock star. And my intention was to make sure I got face to face with Robert and find a way to work together. And guess what? We came out of that event and we're gonna host a one-day mastermind for multifamily investors all over the country in his offices on September 14th. And so literally I went there, I showed up, I had a great attitude. I knew exactly what I wanted coming out of that conference. So those are my three rules from Grant Cardone on how to have massive, massive success in your life. If you got a fourth one, let me know in the comment below.